wellness unit. Now, I know some of you know some people who drink, some of you may drink. I'm not here to judge you. Don't judge me either. I'm not here to point fingers, so don't point fingers at me. So I'm just going to try to make this quick and fun, because I know some of you think this is going to be boring stuff, but I hate boring, because you don't learn anything from boring. So we're just going to go with objectives real quick. You're going to recognize the difference in different types of alcoholic beverages: beer, wine, grains, whiskey, mouthwash, cough syrup. Yeah, I know. Understand the meaning of alcohol content in different drinks. That means when you look at the label, it'll say 5% alcohol, 20% alcohol, 30% alcohol, or proof. Know the health risks associated with long-term abuse of alcohol. You got cirrhosis of the liver, brain damage, coma, alcohol poisoning. We'll go over that. Know the definition of alcohol poisoning and the blood alcohol concentration level in which it occurs. You're going to see BAC a lot. That stands for blood alcohol concentration, not blood alcohol content like a lot of people believe. And then know the variables which determine the rate of absorption of alcohol by the body. And there's a few. Not a lot, but a few. So we're going to get into it, and we're going to start with a myth. How many of you ever heard anybody say, I can drink as much as I want? Well, the fact is, no you can't. The amount of alcohol you consume is metabolized at a given rate by the body. Now everybody thinks you can drink coffee, you can have somebody get up and go walk, you can take a cold shower to sober up, but that's not true. The only true way to sober up is over time, and the body has a given rate that it's going to metabolize. Now some people metabolize a little slower, some metabolize a little quicker, but the average is 0.15 grams per hour. Now that 0.15 grams is part of that blood alcohol concentration level, okay? So that means if you have a blood alcohol concentration of 0.15, it's going to take you 10 hours to completely get rid of all that alcohol in your system, okay? And the liver's the only way to do it. That's the only way to metabolize alcohol and sober up is time. So if you've got, okay, let's just do it this way. If you've got a really tiny woman and a great big old dude, and if any of you laugh because I'm a big old dude, drinking the same amount of alcohol in an hour. Let's say they both drink 2 beers in 1 hour, okay? Because the woman is smaller, she's going to have a higher blood alcohol concentration, and those 2 beers in 2 hours could actually make her a 0.08, which is the legal limit in all 50 states in the union to be able to get arrested for DUI. If you're under 21, it's 0.04 in almost every state now, and I believe Arkansas is one of them, either now or in the future soon, but I think it's 0.04 now if you're under 21. The big old dude may be a 0.02 or a 0.04 because he's got more body. That means he's got more blood, and his blood alcohol concentration is going to be a little lower because he's got more blood. Another thing that can determine it is your fat content in your body. Your fat doesn't absorb alcohol, so you're going to feel the effects of alcohol faster if you have a lot of fat. If you have a lot of lean muscle, you're not going to feel it as fast because muscle can actually absorb a little alcohol. It won't actually dissipate it, it won't metabolize it, but it'll absorb it a little bit. And since the alcohol turns to sugar anyway, your muscle can actually burn a little bit, but it's not going to help with that 0.1 or 0.015 grams an hour. Okay, so just keep that in mind. So the more you drink, the more you're going to have to drink to feel the effects of alcohol, and we'll cover that in a little while. But the longer you drink, the more often you drink, the most you can consume before you die from alcohol is going to vary. But the blood alcohol concentration for alcohol poisoning, and I know some of you have heard of it, I've had friends die from it, that's why I'm not a drinker, is anywhere between 0.35, that's when you'll slip into a coma, give or take, and 0.41, that's when you're going to go into alcohol poisoning. You get above 0.41, you are playing with death, and you will not wake up. Even if you do survive, you're going to be so severely brain damaged that you're never going to get up and walk around or get up out of bed again, okay? I know everybody thinks alcohol is a fun thing, and I'm not here to judge you, but take it in moderation. Yes, alcohol can be fun, but don't drink until you're 21. That's a law. We got laws in this state. I know y'all are all law-abiding people. You do everything you're told. Next myth. I don't get drunk. Yes, you do. Everybody gets drunk. I don't care who you are. You could be Dean Martin and you're going to get drunk. Now, some people walk around with a blood alcohol concentration of 0.15. I know people that do it. Does that make them safe? No. Does that make them able to function like a normal human being? No. All that means is their alcohol intake is so much that they have to consume so much for them to feel the effects of it now that they walk around with a higher blood alcohol concentration than you or I would. Alcohol kills your brain cells. So the more brain cells you kill, the fewer you got left. So if you kill, let's say you kill 1 million brain cells in one day. Now you got billions and trillions of them up there. How long do you think you're going to have before you kill all of them? And that's what causes the coma. You kill your brain cells. Alcohol can get into your brain cells. Water can't. They're semi-permeable. Okay, that's the one thing about brain cells. They don't fix themselves. They don't repair themselves. They don't replace themselves. When they're gone, they're gone. Okay. So just consider that even though you might not think you're drunk, you're drunk. You ever been to a barbecue and you've seen this guy, he's sitting there like this, and everybody that walks by, he throws his arm on him and goes, "I love you, man." And then you say something, "You're drunk." "I ain't drunk. I ain't drunk. I can drink all day long. I don't get drunk." "Yeah, you're drunk. You may not think you are," excuse me, "but you're drunk." Now I'm going to give you, this is the boring part, the statistics. They're boring, but they're necessary. Every year in the United States, 75,000 people die as a result of alcohol. Now that doesn't mean that 75,000 people die in an alcohol-related traffic accident, okay? That's not what it means. The CDC breaks it down for us. So there's 34,800 plus deaths just related to drinking alcohol. That's people who die from cirrhosis of the liver, coma, alcohol poisoning. That's 34,000 people. Now that's a lot of people. Here's the funny part. 40,900 plus die from vehicle accidents and other mishaps. Now you're thinking, what is a other mishap? Well, have you ever heard a redneck tell anybody, "Watch this, hold my beer"? He's about to do something stupid. Those are the guys that try to climb a ladder while they're wearing their 2-beer helmet, carrying a chainsaw to cut a limb off the neighbor's tree that's not even close to his house, and he falls and he cuts himself in half. That's an alcohol-related mishap. Another one, the guy goes in to take a bath and drowns while he's drunk because he's not smart enough to get up. Alcohol-related mishap. Another one is your traffic accident. How many people in this room know someone who has died because of a drunk driver? You don't even have to be in a car for a drunk driver to kill you. Over the Christmas holidays, there were 2 hit and runs where there were drunks driving and ran over pedestrians on the sidewalk. That's considered an alcohol-related accident. So keep that in mind. Hello. There we go. So what can you do to change the odds? Well, you're never going to have all the odds in your favor, okay? That's just the law of probability. You're never, ever, ever going to have them all in your favor. But you can kind of change the parameters of how things are going to go. How do you do that? Well, you wait to start drinking until you're 21, because your brain's not fully formed and your body's not ready to handle all that stress until you're 21. So just wait. I know you can. You know you can. Doesn't mean you're going to. I'm not stupid enough to think that there's not some people in here who drink, because let's face it, you're human. If you choose to use alcohol, use it in moderation. Don't drink to get drunk every time you drink, because all you're doing is killing yourself at a slow pace. I heard somebody say that marijuana was no more dangerous than alcohol. Well, I don't mean to slip off the subject, but if marijuana is no more dangerous than alcohol, I hope you hear today that alcohol is pretty dangerous. So you can make your own correlation, you can make your own decision, but be able to live with the decision that you choose to make, because it's your decision, not mine. If you do drink, please make sure you're in a safe environment. Don't be around a bunch of rednecks or idiots with chainsaws or cars, or somebody saying, hey, watch this. And no, there are dangers at home, so the home may not even be the most safe place. Just try to limit the amount of danger you're going to be around. And this is the big one, and I wish I had been able to tell this to two of my friends. Do not drink alcohol to try to forget a problem, because it's not going to work. You're still going to have the problem, but you're also going to be worse off. You may delay it, but the problem is still going to be there. And if you drink to forget the problem, you're going to wind up drinking a whole lot more, and then you could wind up killing yourself. And then the people that you leave behind have to deal with not only that problem, but the problem that was causing you to drink. So if you've got a problem, find some other avenue other than drinking or drugs, because all you're going to do is prolong the problem and cause yourself more harm than good. And just remember, the blood alcohol concentration for alcohol poisoning, because it doesn't take long to get there. If you're drinking beer or you're drinking pure grain alcohol, you're going to have to drink a lot more beer to get there, but that pure grain alcohol will kill you just as bad as beer, and probably faster, because of the alcohol content. Because if you look on a bottle and you see the word proof and it says 100 proof, that means it's 50% alcohol. And there are drinks out there that are a lot more than that. You can add your juices and your tonic mixers and your water, but you're really not eliminating the amount of alcohol that you're consuming with a mixed drink. So please just remember that. Okay, now that we're going to have a couple of activities, we're going to break off into our groups. And the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to give you a handout. You're going to have your groups of 5. I'm going to give you a handout. And you can laugh at it if you want to, because I did when I made it. It was kind of funny. But it's a chart of a human body, and you're going to label the different parts, the organs like the liver, the heart, the lungs, the intestines, the brain, and you're going to label those, and you're going to list health risks, or how it affects, how alcohol affects, or how it's absorbed. It's pretty easy, and there's some questions at the bottom, and you'll have plenty of time for the rest of this class to finish it. Okay? Then the second thing we're going to do is we're going to keep in our groups, but each group is about to make your own test. Okay? So how do we do that? Well, each group is going to come up with 10 questions. You're going to come up with a question. You're going to provide the answer. Okay? And then when it comes test time, I'm going to take your test questions and give them to another group. So if you wind up having the same test questions, it's a bonus for you, because you already know the answer. And I know you're going to talk amongst each other, which is fine, because I don't care. I just want you to get the information. I want you to have the knowledge. I don't care if you talk to each other before we take the test, just not during the test. That's a bad thing. I don't care. I would much rather you have the information and know it than not. So I don't personally care. Just get the information. So for your activity, I don't care if you use the internet. I don't care if you use your textbook. I don't care if you use your next door neighbor, your mom, your dad, anybody. I don't care. But it's going to be kind of hard to use something other than you have right here at the school to finish it. Okay? So with that, let's break off into our groups and we'll get going.